Okay, I'm going to call this meeting to order, and we'll need a mover and a seconder to go into closed session. Councilor Edge and Councilor Elliott. Thank you. Anybody disapprove? Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to call the meeting to order, and I ask that we stand for the Indigenous Land Acknowledgement, the national anthem, and then I'll ask you to sit down. Thank you very much.
Mr. Mayor, we're having some technical difficulties with our land statement.
Yeah. Technical difficulties are part of our life, and I've had a cold for 3 weeks. And if anybody would love it, I'd be certainly most pleased if you'd take it. My wife did have it, but she was graciously endowed, and she's healthy and gave me the rest of it. So that's a good part of my life. I'll tell you, without her, I wouldn't be here. So thank you very much for coming tonight. We have some very important jobs to do, and recognize all of you and so on in terms of what you do and how you support your family. And yes, we have a number of our first responders here today, and they also see Ryan Williams here, and glad to see him here. He's got a red tie on. There's something wrong. Something seriously wrong. He's either colorblind or, but anyways, that's okay. It's okay. I'm glad you're here, sir. That's great. So we're going to start off with Chief Whalen. Please come on up and give us I know you've got an hour speech, but you're going to cut it to something much less. So, but you know, in all seriousness, the people that we're recognizing tonight are part of a group who train regularly and meticulously, so that if you and I have a problem, if we have a problem someplace, like such as the Great 401, which is such a beautiful highway, and it's so much pleasure to drive it, except when you have problems. And and fires, we've had fires, unbelievable in the last short time. We don't need any. We don't need any more. But we want to recognize and thank the people who train regularly to be prepared to help you and I enjoy life. And I can't go on tonight without mentioning a fellow by the name of Chuck Nathan. Whether you knew Chuck or not, Chuck had a sense of humor, and he had an imagination that carried us forward immensely. We have in Quinte West our own training center. Our very own training center. Simple, isn't it? Yes, it is. It used to be that we would send a number of new volunteers, because everybody has to achieve a certain certification level. And we had to go to Gravenhurst. That's where we had to go to achieve this. But guys like Chuck Nathan, Robert Rudder, Dale Milligan, and other guys, they said, yeah, it's great to go to, but we're going to build our own right here. And along comes Chuck Nathan, and Chuck loved his family. Yes, he did. He really did. And how's your wife, Chuck? She's uglier than a warped toilet seat. That's Chuck. That was Chuck's sense of humor, not mine. That was the way, but he loved his family, don't get me wrong. He never, ever meant anything, but that was Chuck's sense of humor. And he built this training tower along with other volunteers for $160,000. And I'm going to let Chief Whalen go on. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Your Worship, and City Council members. MP Williams, thank you for attending. Shannon Armitage from the Office of the Fire Marshal, she's going to help us today with her presentations. Senior staff and the members of public that are live streaming and watching on your TV. This is a very special night for us, or evening, I should say, or afternoon. We're presenting some very special awards, Your Worship. Career and volunteer firefighters are here with their families. And exemplary service medals, federal, provincial, and long service bars will be what we're doing this afternoon. Before we get going here, I know I've been asked to do a quick little presentation of a major fire we had on 2nd Doug Hill, so I'm going to do that. Just before, Your Worship, we get that on the screen, swap meal, we'll get that going. I just wanted to introduce one of our retired firefighters from Frankfurt, Doug Phillips and his wife Cheryl are here, and Doug put in over 50 years of service. Doug, thank you. And your worship, I'd never hear the end of it if I didn't tell the public and everyone here that Councillor McHugh had 41 years of service. So thank you, Councillor, as well. Yeah.
He earned every one of them.
Yes, he did.
That's the sad part. Go ahead.
Okay, can you see that okay, or do you need the lights on? That's great. Thanks, Lori. So just, I wanted to just do a brief little presentation on February 21st of this year. We got a call at, my page came in at 5:20 a.m. and we had a major structure fire on 2nd Doug Hill Road. Many of our firefighters that are here tonight they all did just a magnificent job. So there we are again. The structure, as many of you know, was a new build. It was a 30-unit building, unoccupied, and it was one of those long days. It was a 13-hour day and minus 15 degrees. Just it's a nightmare to fight a fire like that, and I'll get a little more into it as I go along here. These were the incidents responding units that attended. And Mary, you've always said it's better to do things when you had help, and I'll tell you, with our mutual aid association, I had calls from various fire departments in the area that were monitoring us, wanting to know if we needed more help. Brighton, Chief Thompson called me, Chief Little from Sterling Rodden. But we did have enough people on scene. We had over 50 at the height of the fire. So our initial response was our Station 2 Murray Ward with Commander Lambert and Captain Deck and Captain Mike Williams that are here tonight. They immediately called in Station 1 with our aerial truck, and Captain Coxwell's here. He manned that scene. And then we brought in manpower from Battawa and another pumper. Chief Smith offered their aerial, and they responded with some men from Belleville Fire. Chief Chad Brown from the county, they showed up with their aerial. 8 Wing came in with their crash truck. Chief Johnson, who I'm very proud to say is one of our volunteer firefighters. And then on scene we had, of course, our EMS, our partners with the police, the OPP, Hydro One, Enbridge Gas, Belleville Police Service, and Quinte West Public Works, and I'll talk about those last two people in a minute. 13 million liters of water. Manager Matt Tracy, he showed up on scene just to talk about some scenarios along with Director Angelo, because our system could only, we couldn't keep pumping water like that. We already drained the tower down about 55%. Matt, is that correct? Yeah. So we thought if this fire had gone any further, and it was a good thing all our training, Mayor, and our firefighters, but there was a firewall, and we were able to stop that fire. The technology out there today with thermal imaging cameras that really helped us put a stop to this fire. Director Angelo was able to bring in a hi-ho because we just could not get at the seat of the fire. When the 8-wing truck came in with their telescope on it, it has a thermal camera built into the nozzle. So we directed that into the portion of the building that we're having trouble getting the fire out. And my friend Sergeant Brad Stitt showed up with his drone. And when he flew the drone and we put we went over to the base truck, the screens were identical. It could show where this deep-seated fire was that we would not see from the outside behind a wall. So again, thanks to all our partners in mutual aid, we even, and this is my 38-year career, we've never had a fire where our fire trucks were running out of fuel. Director Angel had a fuel truck come in from the city, and it filled 2 of our trucks. And the big takeaway from this, 50 responders in minus 15-degree weather, and we had no injuries, no slips or falls, just amazing. And we had an ambulance standing by just in case. So here's a couple of slides of what we first appeared on scene with. That's Chief Johnson on the left. And that's Commander Lambert, myself, and Sergeant Stipp looking at the screen showing where the fire was still raging in the one area of the building that we could not see. We saw lots of smoke, but we couldn't see the flames. And there's a Belleville aerial as well as a Prince Edward County aerial. And this is one of our guys. Everybody was freezing up. The lines are freezing up. And we have, at any major fire, we have a rehab area where we'll have one of the trucks with hot beverages and heat on, the truck's running. So we'd have to rotate our crews around to get them thawed out to make sure we didn't have any hypothermia. And again, our fire prevention team led by Senior Fire Prevention Officer Greg King, they do a magnificent job. Doesn't matter what scene they're on. And that's all I have. Just to carry on to what your theme was about the training tower, Deputy Caddick's going to just give you a couple slides to an update of our training tower, and then we'll carry on with the medal presentations, Mayor.
And ladies and gentlemen, we're going to do the presentations, but I'd love you to stay because I want to give all the council members an opportunity to express their gratitude today, please. So don't be in a rush. We won't keep you too long, and if we do, we'll pay you. Check will be in the mail. Okay, thank you.
Don't hold your breath.
Okay.
Thank you. Okay, perfect. Thank you very much. Your Worship and members of council, it's certainly a pleasure for me to be here tonight and to honor these amazing firefighters that we have that have put in the years of service. And I just felt it would be a great opportunity to just take a very few moments to talk to you about our training facility. And as the mayor has many times alluded to, that we are very fortunate to have what we call now a regional training center here in Quinte West. It's been in business well over 35 years now. We've been operating. And it is due to the fact of some individuals that have seen the need and stepped up, volunteered, and made this happen. And of course, we've heard about Chuck Nathan, certainly one of them. There was many others. There was, some the former chief of Tynaneg, or of Mohawk, the late Laverne Miracle. There was Chief Rudder. There was myself. There was Chief Whalen was involved very extensively in the initial days. So it's certainly it's something that's evolved for us, and of course now with mandatory certification in play, it's even more important. And so we're pretty proud of the facility. We've, as I said, we've been operating since at least 1995. We put on an average of about 400 firefighters a year through that facility in various courses. So it's been a great. It's great to see them evolve. We've seen them start in the initial stages and work their way through till they're fully trained and certified and getting into specialty courses as in fire investigation and fire prevention and that sort of thing. So it's a great thing. We certainly are happy that we have great partnerships within the city and within the region to make this successful. The center as successful as it is, and certainly the city of Quinte West and this mayor and council and the senior staff have played an integral part in that in many ways, and that's some of the reason that we're here tonight. I'm just showing you some of the photos. We did build that building a few years ago. Everything we have up there is bought and paid for. We don't owe anybody anything. Our motto has always been, as I was the treasurer for over 10 years of that facility, if there's money not in the bank, it doesn't get built till we're fully funded. So, and we don't get any funding other than through the mutual aid group, who is the owners of the facility. The Hastings and Prince Edward Mutual Aid Association, which is an affiliation of all of the fire departments in Hastings and Prince Edward County. So they all have use of it. But as you can see here, we built our new classroom and garage. We've since upgraded it and updated it and made it a lot more modernized. We, with the help of our IT service here in the city, have exceptional internet capabilities now. We've, in this last year, made a significant purchase of computers. So all our testing is now, provincial testing is done electronically. So everything is e-tested, which affords all our students the ability to, at the completion of their test, they know immediately whether they passed or failed. Where before it would take up to 6 months to find out that information. So we're pretty proud of that. And I fortunately was selected as one of the provincial lead evaluators and proctors for the province. So I administer 99% of the tests there. So it's all local. And so we can do it in an evening and so that sort of thing, which is good. The, whoops. Went too far. Back up one. There we are. So the training grounds, and I don't know whether most of you, I think, have been there over the years, and it's continually evolving. We're always we're very fortunate. We're probably the oldest regional training center in the province. A lot of them have come and gone, and they don't seem to be able to make it financially, and then they end up folding. So we our business model has been sound. We've, as I said, they've taken our model and we've mentored several other training centers in a similar fashion. And so we're very proud of that. All the money we make goes right back into the facilities. We're not for profit. We aren't there to, nobody gets paid as far as the volunteers. Only the instructors are the only ones that are paid in our facility. So there's a lot of volunteer hours goes in, and it's a great learning experience for all of those involved. So we, as you can see some photos there of our training center. Doesn't look quite that way right now. As we go on to the next slide, as you see, and one of the main reasons I'm here is that we are now in the final stages of our water main relocation project. That is a major project that this city undertook, and certainly pretty much completely tore up our training ground, which was fine. We were really good with it because at the end of the day, we've seen some great improvements out of that. And the city has agreed, and they installed 2 new hydrants on our fire ground, so we're not running hundreds of feet of hose from the one little hydrant we had that we got overused terribly. And I think Mr. Belay will be happy to know that we're not going to keep using that old hydrant. But it's been a great partnership. And we on the Tower our committee, we want to thank all of you. We want to thank council in this city for foresight and allowing us to work alongside you and make suggestions, and then allowing us to put that water main across our facility. You still own the property. We just have a lease on it, but we're so happy to have it. And as the mayor said, we train a lot of people, a lot of firefighters from across this province, mainly in this area, but we've had them come from as far as way northern Ontario, Greenstone, to down in Windsor. They'll drive here to take courses because we offer them. So
Take a mention, time to mention all the different, I guess you'd say, fire facilities and communities that use us here, such as the military.
yes,
You
so
just touched on
yeah, indeed. There's the partnerships that we have. Are as you mentioned, we have a memorandum, a MOU with the Canadian Forces Base Trenton. They use our facility quite a bit for some of their special ops training. That's wonderful. We have a MOU with the Ontario Fire College so that they use our facility. We're an affiliate of the campus of the college. We also have, in recent times, we have an affiliation or an MOU with Loyalist College. So now their entire fire pre-service program is run at our facility, which has just afforded us a revenue stream that allows us to continue to grow and to make that facility better every day. So those partnerships mean so much.
Anything with OPP?
OPP, they do use it, yes. But we kind of keep that quiet. We can't tell everybody who's up there. That's why they like it. It's quiet.
Okay,
So,
okay.
But yes, we do. That facility is used for meetings on occasions by other groups that don't want to be in the public eye. When you do a spot to go, it's there for them to use. And
And you say you're doing the certification, and
yes.
So how come I've failed all the time?
Well, Mayor, you got to write the test.
Thank you. Okay.
Anyway, again, I think I've taken enough of your time. Thank you.
Okay,
again,
well, we want to
from
do
our
the
organization.
presentations, and I want to come back to council members.
Okay.
Okay, or,
Thank you.
or do you want to do council members, you want to make a comment first? Let's do it first. Okay, that way we'll, yeah, okay, go ahead. Councilor Quinte.
Thanks, Mr. Mayor. I first joined council in 2008, the summer of 2008, and that was the very same day that Chief Whalen was promoted to the chief. And ever since that day, I've continued to support the Quinte West Fire Department, the volunteers, and the full-time staff. Our council has listened to the requests from Chief Whalen and his team, and I've been in support of his staffing requests, the gear requested, purchasing of equipment, trying to do our best to maintain the facilities, including the training facility. And as long as I sit on council, I'm going to continue to do the same. I wish to thank each and every one of you for your long service. I hear only good things that come back to me about our team and how fast they respond to various situations with medical, fire, car accidents. It's somebody's got to come and help, and thank goodness it's you guys, because I couldn't do it. But thanks so much.
My father was search and rescue, so I have a strong attachment to first responders and high respect for them. I'm not going to talk about the bad parts of the job. I'm going to talk about the volunteer parts of the job that they do for our community. Our Coats for Kids, Santa Claus Parade, Fire Fit Challenge, Fire Prevention Week, Fill the Boot, is that what it's called, Dave? Where they collect money, is it for the toy drive, food drive? Boot drive? And there's a host of other things. And these guys are always smiling, and some days I say, I don't know how you wear that smile after some of the situations you see, but, you know, they say, heroes aren't born, they're made, but that's where the fire tower and all that comes into play. But I still believe there's a piece that comes with you when you're born.
Thank you, Worship. So I'm a new member of council, so I haven't gotten to know everybody yet, but I will say, being a resident in this community for over the number of years, is that I know that the public relies on the service that you provide, and I know in having worked with municipalities, the passion that you have and the support that the families, it's so nice to see the families out here. I do have a family that have been members of the fire department, and I know Christmases where all of a sudden the bell goes and they're gone. So I know every moment of the family's day is also a commitment as well. So thank you very much to everybody.
Councilor Reid, please.
Didn't hear you.
Yeah, she did. Councilor Reid, please comment.
Yes, I do. Thank you. Thank you to all of the Quinte West Fire and emergency responders. But I want to focus on their support system that they have at home. Thank you to their spouses and their families who support them while they are out protecting all of us in Quinte West. It's not easy waiting at home, wondering when your loved one is going to come home, and hopefully they will come home not injured. So it's very stressful, but I know that the first responders appreciate your love and support. So thank you to all of the first responders and their families and spouses. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilor Freeman, I'm going to ask you to go ahead because you've been involved in this a long time.
Yes, and I must thank you, Mr. Mayor. And for me, even just watching what's been happening in the last few weeks, it's just been so emotional when I think of the danger that they put themselves in and the heartbreak when things don't work out the way you want it to. It's just been an awful time for them. And I'm so grateful that they're out there for us. That's all I can say is thank you. For the ones that have been there for a week or a month, and those that were with us for 50 years, the reason it all works so well is because the caliber of people that we have in our fire emergency services. Thank you so very much to each and every one of you.
Thank you. Councilor O'Neill, I think you're on. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks to all of you. I really appreciate it. I've been to the tower many times. I think it's a great asset for the whole area. It's also nice to know that all the different municipalities work together when there's something big going on.
You're absolutely right, and we just touched on that fact, but not only do you work together, but you work with every first responder in this city, including our police and our fire, our paramedics. And yes, Loyalist College is a big part of our life, and let's hope the Premier has more, I guess you'd say, foresight than it seems to be right now. And I want to tell Mom and Dad back there, don't worry about the noise, because you're really helping Scott Pennington. He's been yawning for the last 10 minutes, so, that's good news. So don't worry about the noise.
I could go on for hours, and you know that. I am so proud to see these men and women standing at the back here and sitting amongst us. I had the honor of serving with the majority of them, and I'm sure Doug will confer with me on this or agree with me. At our age, we almost kind of look at some of the younger ones and feel like we were parents, helped raise them and bring them along. And I'm so very proud of what you've accomplished. And the mayor has a saying here, Quinte West is the best. Quinte West is the best because we have the best of the best when it comes to our emergency services, whether it be ambulance, fire, police. And I'm so proud to be a counselor, extremely proud to have been a volunteer firefighter, and the city's allowed me to keep the app on my phone. And don't be surprised to see me show up someday. I'm sure you put me on the sidelines pretty quick, but I still have the itch to go, but unfortunately I'm beyond that stage. It's a young person's domain out there, I'm telling you, and it is tough. So again, hats off to you all. I'm so proud to see you all and know that you're carrying on legacy that fellows like Doug and myself and others that have retired over the years. We're so proud to see you and what you're doing. Thank you again on behalf of all of us here for all that you do. And I'd be remiss if I didn't thank the members of the public, the mothers, the fathers, the brothers, the sisters, the aunts, the uncles, because you never know when they're going to get a call, when they're going to be gone, or how long they're gone. And also to their employers, if they're not self-employed, to their employers that allow them to go. We have a wonderful community here, and again, like I said, we have the best of the best here in Quinte West. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Your Worship. I know this is kind of like an echo of everything, but
It's all right.
we really appreciate your hard work and dedication. I've always said the fire department, police department, EMS, they're the best insurance policy we could have. They beat any insurance company that's out there because you're there 24/7. We don't want your service, but if we need it, we know it's there, and you're going to give your 100% best to protect us and serve us, and as you have in the past. And to reiterate what Councilor McHugh has said, the families that back you up deserve a lot of credit too, because you have to, sacrifice work, family time, and everything, and it takes a lot of hard work and dedication to do that. And I'm sure most people understand that and appreciate it, but you need a pat in the back. And so thank you, and keep up the good work. I'm sure you will. We have the greatest team in Ontario right here, I'm sure. Thank you, and good luck.
Councillor Card.
Thank you, Your Worship. And I want to thank the Chief and Deputy for the presentations. I think that the second Doug Hill fire especially kind of illustrates the professionalism and dedication of our department. I can't imagine being out fighting a fire in those conditions for that long. It's remarkable. And as Councillor Allier said, there's a lot of echoing of sentiment. There's a million ways to say it, but I think we're all very proud of you, thankful for you, deeply appreciate your service to the community, and the courage, sacrifice, and skill that you all exemplify in that work. So thank you all.
Thank you. Councillor Kotsovas.
Thank you. I want to congratulate everyone this evening that is receiving their long service awards. And just to touch on Chief Whalen's presentation, just wanted to commend the teamwork and professionalism involved in the firefight. And what's even more impressive is that there were no injuries. So thank you to everyone, and hold your heads up high.
Thank you. Councillor.
Thank you, Your Worship. I moved to Quinte West in 2019 after spending many years in another municipality as a councillor, and I can truly tell each and every one of you guys and women are the best of the best. The way that you work together as in the competent departments is absolutely incredible. And I've had the opportunity to go to AMO and Good Roads and different places, and it's often said that the Quinte West Fire Department is a model for other municipalities, the way that they all work together. They're all one team, and it's truly remarkable. And I just want to say thank you to every one of you, and and I hope you continue.
They will. Ryan Williams, we're glad you're here, and we want to give you a chance to, well, I guess you need to make some kind of political speech, really, but.
There we go. Can you hear me, Your Worship?
Yeah, we can hear
well,
you.
You know, it's a pleasure to be here. Chief Whalen invited me, and I'm just happy to be here on this occasion. I think first to always to attend a Quinte West Council meeting. It's nice to be here and see democracy in action here, but also to honor obviously the brave men and women. And you've said everything you need to be said, but I also want to emphasize it's the family too. How incredible it is for the service members. But when they get that call, and the people I've talked to, the anxiety that they feel when you go out in the call, because it's a dangerous call, and it could be worse, and you always hope and pray everyone comes back okay, and that comes back to leadership, and of course the leadership team, and the chief and deputy, and how well you do to bring this together, but it's also the council yourselves. It's council's decisions to make sure that they get the tools they need, and it's also council's decision to make sure that obviously they're involved in bigger projects like infrastructure, and then, of course, the fire tire and everything else. So thank you for everything you do, and thank you to everything, to all the men and women, but also the families, because it's so tremendously important to have you here alongside them. We know it's not a single effort, it's a joint effort by all involved. So happy to be here wearing my red tie today. This is for Councillor Armstrong, but it matches my red pin. So thank you so much, Mr. Mayor.
Well, we're glad you're here. Just before we do the presentations, I want to acknowledge one more important person that we have in our city, and that's Inspector Reeve. She's kind of bashful, and she won't be pleased with me, but that's okay. She is Detachment Commander of the Year. That's what she's, the award that she has been, thank you. And she received that because her peers support the work that she does and has done and continues to do. And so the award was presented to Inspector by her peers. That's a big accomplishment from my point of view, and I'm so proud. Unfortunately, she's going to retire. That's the part that hurts us, but I've tried to get her to rescind it, but that's not my decision, is it, right? But anyways, I have to say I've enjoyed the opportunity I've had to work with her and with the detachment. And you wouldn't know this, ladies and gentlemen, but there are many detachments in the province of Ontario that do not have the complement of police officers that they require. And it's the same in the fire department. There are many departments that don't have the required number of, I guess you'd say, first responders that they need. So we're truly blessed in this city. We're truly blessed with great leadership and great people who continue to do the job to the best of their ability. And then until you are on that let's say I'll use 401. I have to use it every now and again, unfortunately. But I do have a brand new truck, and I pulled on the 401 at Loyalist Road, and I got to Aikens Road, and I had a flat tire. I didn't have a flat tire. I had no tire left. And it was a Friday morning, about 10:30, 11 o'clock, and I couldn't even get out of the truck because of the traffic. So I called the first responders, and police came and parked his car appropriately. So a tow truck came and took me away, and the truck as well. So yes, until you get into those situations, you don't realize just how valuable the people are that we have. And I can, yes, I'm like Councillor McHugh. It's so heartwarming to know that we have the people we have. And yes, I did make a comment about Chuck Nathan, but I'll tell you, I love that guy, and I still, as you can tell, I can't go any place and do things without mentioning him, because he worked so hard at whatever he did to make it an accomplishment. And as, I told you what it cost to build, I'm sure that training tower is valued at well over $1 million, isn't that correct? Yeah, so anyways, we'll get started.
MPP Tyler Alsop, he might stop in, he was invited, and of course they're in Toronto being sworn in today. Here, well, we'll stand right here, I guess. Yeah. Okay, our first presentation is going to Captain Cordell Deck, 25 years. Cordell and his wife Sandra's here.
Are you going to say any more about Cordell?
No, I think we want a quick meeting.
He's actually commander of Station 2. And of course, you all know where all these stations are. Yeah, sure you do. Station 2 is on number 2 highway, just west of Willow Road. So thank you. You're a busy guy. I know you are, and I appreciate the work you do. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Mayor. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thanks very much.
Thank you.
Mr. Mayor, the folks at home can't hear anybody.
Is that mic not working, or am I not? There we go. Okay, thank you, Cordell. Cordell. Okay. Next, I have Senior Fire Prevention Officer Greg King, and I see his parents, Jerry and Sylvia, are here. Greg? And that's 25 years as well.
This is a case, nobody loves you like your mother. She's been to many, hasn't she?
She has, yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, great parents.
I'm sure she's qualified.
Come on in.
I will add too that Captain James Dick, he just called me earlier. He's sick today, as well as Station 4 Sterling Foster couldn't make it. Next we have Captain John Mitchell and his wife Tracy's here. 25 years.
Station number?
There's only one.
What's your son's name again? Bryce.
Here in Trenton and Ward 1.
If you didn't hear that back there, and his son Bryce is here. Sorry, Bryce. The mayor asked him what station he was from, and Captain Mitchell said there's only one station. So. Oh, there we go. Yes, we're all. It's only one. We're all reunited. Yeah. Very good. Next, we have Captain Tom Schick, and his partner Andrea's here, and son's here too. Tom's son Brady's here as well. Brady, thank you.
Thank you.
Station 6, we have Acting Captain John Vries and his wife Cindy. John? Next on our 25-year presentations is Captain Mike Williams, and Vanessa is here with him. Vanessa's his fiance, Mayor. If you wanted to say something, maybe you shouldn't. I'm not sure.
Better be careful. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes.
Congratulations.
We need more of these meetings because the uniforms seem to shrink.
A little bit, yep.
And we have Captain Basil Wood. He had a commitment with his kids tonight. He couldn't make it. And then we're going to skip to 45 years, and that's Commander Gary Lambert, Station 2, and he's out of the country, so he's not here. And then our next 40-year recipient is Station Commander Brad Graham, Station 1. Brad, when you come up here, I know your wife Brenda's here. Well, come on up and I'll explain. Brad, your worship handed me a piece of paper, and I think you should have been a doctor because I couldn't read your writing. So you can introduce your family.
I will. Okay. Thank you.
Tell us who's here.
Yeah, thanks very much. Okay. Yes, I have my wife here, Brenda, and my son, Mark, and his fiancee, Mun, Jinnaman, and I have my brother, Vince, and his wife, Sharon, and I have my family from New Brunswick that are live streaming right now, I believe. So, yeah, my daughter, Jennifer, and my grandkids, Graham and Meredith. So, and I have my other grandson, Roderick, over there waving. Yeah. Yeah.
Very good.
So thanks for coming out. Yeah. Thank you.
Now we go into our 30-year presentations. Station 7, we have Acting Captain Kyle Hayatella and his wife Lori is here tonight.
Yes, sir. Been around a day or two.
I know.
Next we have from Station 1 Captain Mike LaBelle, and Heather's here, and there's a whole bunch of people that you can introduce. 30 years, yeah. Yeah.
Congratulations.
Did you want to introduce this here? Sure. Just hold it right up.
Sure. I have my family here. I got my oldest daughter, Jessica, and then my twin boys and her hubby, my soon-to-be son-in-law, Tyler. And then I got my two daughters, Jessica or Madison and Miranda. My son, Nick. Everybody knows who Nick is there. My wife, Heather, and my mom, Jamie.
All right. Very good. I hope you didn't miss anybody.
Thank you.
Next, for 30 years, Station 7 is Jeff Weems, Acting Captain. Jeff?
Congratulations, Jeff, and all the best. Congratulations.
Congratulations. Thank you.
No, you'll be fine.
And last but not least, from Station 1, Captain Chris Wigley and his wife Diana.
I was going to curtsy so bad. Yeah, I know you were. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And that's our presentations. Thank you very much. And I have one little video, Your Worship, and then we're going to exit to Station 1, where the council are invited afterwards if your meeting's not too long. We have some refreshments.
Any council member have something you want to say that you didn't get a chance to? Now's the time. Anybody? Okay, thank you. Go ahead then.
Very much, and just in closing, Your Worship, I just want to sincerely thank you and council for all your support. I want to thank Deputy Caddick and our EA Billy Marshall, our Reverend Gail Comics here. And, you know, it's pretty easy for me when I have a team like this. And again, I just want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. When we have incidents like we've had, and we get support from the mayor, when I get support from mayor and council texting me or calling me to make sure that we're all okay, it means an awful lot. So thanks again for all your support, and we're going to head back to the station and have some refreshments.
Well, thank you very much. Anyone else? I don't want anybody to... Inspector, would you like to say a few words? You're not going to have many more opportunities here, so...
Thank you, Worship. I'd like to say that tonight's all about the firefighters, all of who work awesome partners with us. Our front line and their front line, like our numbers as police are small, and when the firefighters, all of these wonderful volunteers and full-time firefighters show up at the scene with us, we know that we have enough people to do whatever job needs to be done. So their professionalism is greatly appreciated, and we love working beside them.
Thank you very much. I agree with you. The one thing we haven't mentioned much about is your marine unit. You want to mention the fact that you do have a rescue boat, and thank you. I know you do.
Is that working as well or no? Yes, Your Worship. We have actually, I think, 7 marine units, and we have a hovercraft that this time of year it's very valuable when it's ice and water and slush. But yeah, we're very well equipped, and that's thanks again to council when we put our budgets in, and we need a piece of equipment that we don't have. There's never much debate whether we will buy it or not.
Thank you. Yes, it's another aspect that we need because we have. How many actual kilometers of shoreline, Director Angelo, do we have?
I can't recall, Your Worship.
We got a lot of it anyways, I know that, but we need to be prepared to deal with situations. And again, thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. We really appreciate the opportunity to recognize just a little bit of the importance that you share with this city. And someday we'll get to the level that's required. But I sure want you to know we appreciate the work, we appreciate what you do, and we have a system here in Quinte West that we can afford. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Picture you up there. Did you see it?
Bob Lawson and Wooler Area Community Organization, and they're going to address council to provide an overview of the Wooler Schoolhouse project and seek relief from Quinte West permit fees, etc. So come on up.
When the crowd clears out.
Yeah, I know. Take a minute, but we'll get them. We'll get to them.
I thought all those fellas were here to support us.
Yeah.
Your Worship, councillors, my name is Laird Nelson. I'm one of the original scouts from First Wooler Scouts. Started in the mid-50s. Had another one here, Doug Adams. We're here making a presentation in support of the old Wooler Schoolhouse project. It used to be called the Scout Den. I certainly want to thank those people that came here to support us. And I'm going to give you a very brief history just to catch you up to date. I'm only here for a minute or two. As most of you know, in the late 60s, the schoolhouse, all the pupils went to Brighton High School. So the schoolhouse was made available, and since Scouts had been using it, the local council and the school board decided to give it to Scouts. Scouts Canada bought it for $1, Only stipulation was that they couldn't do anything with the building as long as First Wooler Scouts existed. However, they weren't very good scouts because we still existed and they put it up for sale in 2000. I tried to stop it. I got a lawyer from Belleville and we put a stop on it. But Scouts Canada threatened to sue me and all the parents. And our lawyer said, you don't have enough money to fight that firm in Ottawa, so we backed off. However, we did put in a qualified bid because as they put it up for sale at $65,000, we raised $65,000, put a bona fide bid in. However, they ignored that and sold it for $140,000. We've been working on this process to get the school back into the community, and it has been a long, slow process. We certainly want to thank very much Quinte West Council for supporting us in our heritage designation, which also helped to prevent some bad things happening. So I've got a very brief history here, which I'll go through quickly. Wooler Area and Community Organization is a federally registered nonprofit formed in 2020. I won't give you our registration number because you won't remember it anyway. Wooler Area Community Organization is really a successor of First Wooler Scouts. The First Wooler Scout Group Committee, which is the people that looked after all of the Scouts in First Wooler. And we maintained the Scout Hall without any help from Scouts Canada since 1968. Wooler Area Community Organization led efforts to save the Wooler School, and in June 2024, we got with help from Quinte West, we got it designated for heritage protection. Mortimer Brothers Property is a locally owned licensed home builder that specializes in custom home. And Mortimer Brothers Property are partnering with Wooler Area Community Organization to restore the Wooler School and return it to community service. That's my presentation. Any questions? Thank you. Oops.
We'll save questions right now, but we'll ask staff to come back with a report about what you're asking for and so on, and we'll. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you very much for putting up with me.
Thank you very much.
And you should know I went to school with those two guys.
We're still in school.
And they're still wearing ties.
Yeah, right on.
Old-fashioned lads.
Thank you.
Thanks, Art. There's still a bit more to the presentation, if that's okay.
Yes.
We'll just walk you quickly through the rest of it. So my name is Bob Lawson. I grew up about 100 yards from the Wooler School in the 70s and 80s. And for me, it was a place where I went for Cubs, Scouts, Ventures, Rovers, skateboarding, ball hockey, ping pong, pool. We built canoes. We launched dozens of camping trips. So it was a very special building for me. And I leapt at an opportunity to see what I could do to help when I retired a few years ago. So our vision is really to restore it to community service. It's a heritage building. We've had a lot of good looks at it. I'll talk a little bit of the due diligence, but it's looking good that we can bring it back to the community use. It'll become a local, affordable, indoor and outdoor facility, place for family events, weddings, things where people can gather in Wooler since we lost the town hall in 2012. So now you can have a celebration of life in Wooler when we get this up and running. Also local employment opportunities, craft markets, seasonal markets, et cetera. And we're doing a lot of work to restore our connection with Wooler's history. So we've got some great archives, and we're going to use this building to celebrate Wooler's history, but also maintain a digital archives. I'm not going to go through all this, but it's been a long journey, as Laird mentioned. We've gone through a lot of due diligence with engineers. We've had a lot of great help from people along the way. We've got phase one environmental impact studies done. We've also got a lot of help from outside people. We partner with George Brown College, and believe it or not, the Wooler School was used for 2 international design competitions by groups of students from around the world to give us business ideas and design ideas and what we could do with the school when we restore it. These are people who are experts in heritage restorations, architecture, and community design. We've applied for grants from the federal government. I want to thank your worship for supporting our grant applications, and we are looking forward to hearing about our latest grant application fairly soon. So now we're into the business planning side, and I want to talk a little bit about what we're going to do going forward. Next year it's renovations. 2025 into 2026, we take this building and we restore it. It's a really well-built building. It was built for students and all the things that students do. And we played floor hockey, and I actually skateboarded in there for years. It's a very solid building. It's great. It's designed for large numbers of people. We have 6 main halls that are 750 square feet apiece. And we have distinct heritage features. It's like a time capsule upstairs because it was closed off in 1954 when the students went to ENSS, and it's never been open since. So it's a beautifully heritage building in terms of its interiors as well. So we're going to respect those heritage features when we do our design, but what we have to do is we have to upgrade it and make it modern. We have to put a fire exit at the back. We want to install an elevator to make it fully accessible. And we have applied, as I mentioned, to a federal program called the Green and Inclusive Community Buildings Program, which helps with elevators and greening of community buildings, especially helping nonprofits. We've looked at length with our George Brown College and community partners about what we will do in the various floors, and so that we can optimize the use of the building. And finally, we're really well supported in this effort by a lot of people. So at the core, as Laird mentioned, there's a lot of folks that have been in the community for a long, long time and are very familiar with this building, along with a board of people who have brought additional expertise and expertise. We have about 40 people that show up on a regular basis to help volunteer to do things. We have a membership with now almost 80 people. We started in December selling memberships. Beyond that, we've got George Brown College, who's done a lot of pro bono architectural work. We've got engineering, legal, and website work pro bono. We've got local contractors, people from our community that have been helping us with plumbing, electrical, carpentry, grading, planning, etc. So we've got a really good group of people that are here to help us support us. And then we've got the Wooler community. We've got about 1,700 people on Facebook. We've got alumni, generations of people who went to the Wooler School and their families. We've got generations of people who went to the scouting organizations. And then we have, as our outer layer of friends, Quinte West. And so again, thank you for your help. And so to get to the meat in the sandwich, as it were, why are we here tonight? It's to see if we can get a little more help. So we know that we're going to restore a heritage building, and we love it dearly, but it's going to be a bit of a piece of work. And so the first thing we'd like to bring to the council is to put in place a heritage property tax relief program for Quinte West, not just for us, but for other people who want to do heritage work in the future. And this would allow us to defer our taxes by 40% under provincial regulations, and they'll give some of that money back to Quinte West, particularly the school portion. So we think that it's important to reward and incentivize people to maintain heritage buildings, and we'd like the council to consider that. We'd like to consider a community improvement plan for the Wooler School or something that would be similar, because what we want to do is we want to take the property taxes that we would normally be paying and put them into account for long-term capital upgrades and maintenance of the building. It is 110 years old, and we want it around for another 110 years. So that means we're going to have to put money in the bank on a regular basis to make sure that it can be maintained and upgraded. Yes, and he's been doing generously ever since.
I remember taking you to school.
So, and we would like to put an elevator in, and so we would invite maybe partnering with the Quinte West on that, perhaps through forgivable loans or grants. We know that you've got community improvement plans for other parts of the area, and that's what we'd like you to consider for us. And then we'll do the work. We've got a lot of sweat equity. We've got a lot of volunteers, but what we would like to do is a little bit of help there on the property taxes and maybe some of the capital investments. And then finally, one thing we've been trying to track down is bits of Wooler history. We know, for example, you'll see here the Roll of Honor we found, which was in the original Wooler School, and it was the list of all the people who'd gone to fight in the Second World War. We know there's brass plaques missing from the Wooler Town Hall when it was destroyed in 2012. We'd like to find them. That's the list of all the war dead and people who served in World War I and II. And we'd like to bring them back to Wooler if we can find them and have them restored. So that's us. We got a lot of work done. We got a lot of work ahead of us. We've got a great building. We've got a wonderful group of people. We've got a great circle of friends around us. You've been a great partner. We thank you again for that, and I'll open it for any questions or comments.
Any council member have a question?
No, I just want to make a...
Go ahead. Then I'll go to Councilor Armstrong.
Yeah, I just want to make a comment. It's great to see citizens come together to promote something, especially heritage, something that means so much. And Bob and I have had several back and forth conversations. And again, I guess what you're looking for maybe tonight is, and the mayor mentioned it, where a direction from the staff with regards to your heritage tax relief plan and CIP. And I'm sure we could.
We'll ask staff.
We'll ask for that, yeah. Thank you.
Councilor Armstrong?
Is there still a scouting cub organization in Wooler?
There is a first Wooler scouting organization, but it's currently in Frankfurt. Right. We'd like to bring them back to Wooler. And that's what this building can do.
It's no longer Scouts Canada.
No.
It's under a different scouting organization.
Okay.
It's Canadian Traditional Scouting. Sorry.
No, it's okay.
You want to say some more? Come on up to the mic. You're welcome.
I've been a member of Scouts Canada and worked with the First Wooler Scouting Group. It was an awesome group, and I really love working with the committee. Our kids really need scouting, and unfortunately Scouts Canada was not the direction that we wanted to continue going. So we have partnered with Canadian Traditional Scouting, which is all about traditions. And that's where we're going from here on in. And First Wooler is still alive and kicking, but we're in Frankfurt. And we'd like to go back to Wooler.
Yeah.
But we don't have a building.
Well, thank you. Thank you very
Thank
much.
you for your consideration. We really appreciate it. Our youth appreciate it very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Anyone else? I need a motion that we ask Councilor McHugh and Councilor Stedall, motion we ask staff to bring a report back.
Mr. Mayor, if I can just maybe seek a little bit of clarification.
Yes.
And I appreciate what the group is asking for, but I just want to make council aware that the ask is basically for staff to create 2 new programs that we currently don't have. And so the report, if the direction is for staff to take this away and work on these programs, it's not going to be back in a short period of time. We have lots of other things that we're trying to work on. So I just want to be clear, what is council directing us to basically produce a heritage tax rebate program, which we currently don't have? And are we being asked to amend or create a CIP plan for Wooler Hall? Because those are 2 things that would be a significant undertaking for us.
Thank you very much. We have faith in you. We know that you'll get it done, but we don't have a time frame. They certainly want to get things moving and keep things moving, but see what you can do and bring a report back to council when you can, as soon as you can.
So to be clear, you want us to bring back or look into what it would take to develop both of those things and report that back to council for further discussion?
Well, I don't think it'll help us much if you don't.
Okay.
Okay. Councilor Elliott.
Yes, I want to congratulate you on your dedication. It's a unique building. It's a prairie style, I think it used to be called Stipe Schoolhouse. And well, I didn't attend there. I'm a Murray guy from the roots up, but I live in the south part down where the palm trees are. But so does McHugh there now. He relocated from Trenton. He knows the better part of the area. So I want to ask Brian Jardine, our director of planning. Under our last CIP update, we kind of amended our CIP to include rural areas outside of the bigger urban areas. Would you say this might qualify under this some consideration? I know what the CEO was saying, but we were talking about agricultural and somewhat heritage stuff and buildings and what have you, and I just wondered if maybe under that new revised plan that we've just updated and brought forward might qualify, if that was worthwhile looking into. It's just a question.
Through Mr. Chair, that most recent update to the city CIP was undertaken under Director Grimmon's department. It was related to tourism and some of the downtown commercial. So I don't believe that it would encompass a project like this. Perhaps that's something that could be commented on in the staff report that returns.
Okay, thank you. It was just a question. I didn't know whether it might qualify in that same type of consideration.
Mr. Mayor?
Go ahead.
Thanks. Thanks very much. I was wondering if your organization was aware that the City of Quinte West does have a community grant fund that you could apply to. You can ask the staff to get an application. That fund applications are accepted, I believe, in September of each year, and then that comes before the council, and you can ask for some fund and some grants at that time. But for our staff to put a report together regarding tax relief or fee waiver fee for these sorts of organizations, that could be like a year from now before that would ever come back. And I don't know what sort of time frame you're working under for your project. Not to say that I know that for sure that's what the time frame might be, but CAO Clazy is correct. Our staff is busy doing many things, and to add another thing onto their list, that is going to be some time before they'll be able to get back to us on what that might look like. So were you aware of the community grant fund?
Yes, we applied in the last cycle. No, I fully understand that the CIP name may not be the best way forward. There is this existing provincial program for the heritage property tax relief, which we think is a viable one. Taxes will be paid for years going, so that's going to be around when we need it. But the short-term problem is we are going to renovate in the year ahead. So anything that we can, help, anything in the short term would help. We've talked, for example, about the Parks and Recreation Master Plan, and maybe there's a direct way in which we can cooperate to build a recreational element in our. We have a 3-acre property to deal with up there that used to be a big ball diamond at the rear. It's a big flat piece of land. It could be used for a recreation space in alignment with the Parks and Recreation Master Plan. So we're all for anything that's efficient and quick to move on, and recognizing that the tax part of it is something that will be useful for us for many years.
Yeah, just that, like for your organization or for anybody's organization that comes to us and asks for some sort of tax relief, that just means that the rest of us have to make up the difference along the way somehow, or it has to be included in the budget in some way, shape, or form. And that's kind of how the cycle works. So just commenting from my seat, that's how I see it. But I guess thanks for coming out tonight, and good luck with your project.
Thank you. Councillor Armstrong?
Oh, I was showing. Did you guys fill out the Parks Master Plan with that suggestion? You did.
Yeah. Sorry. Councillor Settle.
Thank you, Worship. And I supported the motion. It was more to find out more about this heritage tax reduction. And the part that you were indicating is that there would be a reduction in the education portion. And that is what I'm more interested in staff coming back and talking to us about. I understand the CIP. I mean, that's something that we can always take a look at in the future, but it would take some staff time. But it's more just this tax portion, that the education portion, because that is something that doesn't affect the town or the city's taxes. And it's something, if it's available, that we should maybe.
Well, I'm just impressed with what you've done and with the facility. And we know that many people went to that school, and one we both spent a lot of time with, Claude Thompson. What did he do? Tell us. You tell me, and I'll certainly make sure it's right.
Harry Ewing was
Harry Ewing
there before he went to Brighton.
Yeah, that's right. So I was just.
Harry Ewing, Claude Thompson were teachers at. It was called the Woolard Continuation School.
Yeah. It went on to.
They came back from the war.
Yeah.
They became teachers and then transferred to Brighton.
Yeah.
And no taxes were collected on this building. Only
Yeah, okay. Thank you. Councillor O'Neill.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Like to ask Councillor McHugh to change the motion to just the tax relief program, because I don't believe the CIP would be logical to do at this point in time.
I don't think we can do anything until we get more information.
I'm more than willing to change that, and I understand that Councillor Stedall will second it if we do change it, yes.
Yes, I will. Yes.
Okay. Who's next? Somebody else have a question? I can't see everybody, obviously. Anything else? Well, thank you very much. You know, and you did say you did skating in that building and all that kind of stuff. How come you didn't let Doug skate? Because all he does is play goal. Hey?
Just thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
Just to emphasize Larry's point, I mean, for us, the taxes, we never paid a penny in taxes the whole time we operated the building until it changed hands to a developer.
Yeah.
And then suddenly it was taxed. And now it's coming back to a nonprofit. So that's our argument here, is that, you know, we would like to go back to where we were, so we can offer affordable, accessible programs to Woolern area residents, and not have our costs being driven up by something that happened because a developer bought the property. That's all that happened.
I have no
Someone
idea
bought
what-
it, put the price up, and now we're all paying taxes forever on it.
Yeah, well, we'll try and find out more for you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay, all in favor of the motion? All in favor of the motion? 1, 2, 3, 4. Carried. Motion's carried. Thank you. Okay, thank you very much. Now we're on to public input. Anybody want to come up and speak under public input? Please do. Please do.
Oh, yes.
Yep.
State your name.
Thank you, Your Worship, and all council members.
Sorry, if you could just use the the other microphone. Thank you.
And state your name and...
Yes. Thank you. My name is Cheyenne Hennessy. I'd like to thank you for the opportunity to bring this issue to your attention that I'd like to address. I'm a homeschooling mother of 2 children, and I'm here to express my concern over the situation of drug use in this building, which my husband was witness to Thursday, March 6th. After arriving to pick up an item that was lost at the library during the Homeschool Connections event, which we attended in the library, he entered the washrooms nearest the building entrance on his way out. And after noticing that the men's washroom doors were closed, which was unusual, he entered and found 2 men at the sink using intravenous drugs with their paraphernalia strewn about the counter. He left the washroom immediately and went back to the library to notify the staff about the issue. He spoke to someone at the entrance of the library and left hastily out of frustration for the situation. After informing me of what he had experienced, we both sat together quite shocked, given our 13-year-old son uses that washroom alone regularly. And we take our 4-year-old son to use it as well. Obviously, this poses a massive problem, given that drug paraphernalia on a surface can leave behind residues and grains of fentanyl, which could kill a child or an adult. Not to mention the fact that no child should have to witness the underbelly of society when we are going to our public library or their own city hall. That evening, I spoke to a librarian by phone who let me know that this is not the first occurrence of questionable people being in the building doing dangerous things, that she was shocked, and she was shocked that whomever my husband had spoken to hadn't informed her, because she let me know that they do have protocol in place for when things like this happen, like calling the police, and they actually check the washrooms every couple hours for this sort of thing themselves, she let me know. I was very surprised that female and elderly librarians are being subjected to potential danger in having to do this. I was surprised to learn that this was seemingly a common occurrence. Up until this situation took place, I had no idea that this was not new. Being aware of the fentanyl despite being aware of the fentanyl and homelessness crisis in Belleville and the various homeless criminal offenses taking place in libraries across Canada. I was naive to the point where I learned after speaking out to my homeschooling community that I was actually one of the odd ones out who actually do let their children go in there alone, since apparently it is well known that those bathrooms are frequented by drug-addicted people. My naivety comes from noticing that in other cities there is a security presence in public libraries that are frequented by increasing homeless populations, which automatically gives the patron the impression that there not only could be danger in the area to be aware of if you have children, but also that there are people of authority whom you can rely on to ensure a more safe environment, that of which we do not have here, despite the apparent common knowledge from local families that this is not a place where you can let your children be in here alone. My 13-year-old son, who is with me today, frequents that bathroom as we come here weekly, sometimes multiple times a week. We really love the library and the programs that it offers. In fact, we come here every Thursday evening for socializing with our friends during that time period that this incident took place. And if our game night in the library hadn't been canceled that evening, having no knowledge of this activity going on in these washrooms prior to this, it could have been my son walking in on that instead of my husband. It could have been any of our children, as our homeschooling pod uses this library between the lot of us literally every day. I think it's obvious that we as parents and patrons of the library do our best to ensure our children are supervised. So this is not a situation of wanting to be able to let our children run free without caution anywhere, which, even though it would be nice. I do think that my 13-year-old son, though, should be able to exercise his growing independence in doing things like using a public bathroom by himself, located at his library where his mayor works, and parents should be able to bring their toddlers who can't hold it long enough to get all the way to the back bathrooms of the library without fear of interacting with drug addicts, and be able to wash their hands at the sink without fear of being exposed to opioids. I know that the opioid and homelessness crisis in our community is a deeply layered issue, but I ask all of you, if my kids aren't safe coming here into this building to go to their library or to witness their local government, then where are they safe to go in this city? I would also like to propose, I would like to propose that a security guard is hired and put in place so that there are eyes in that hall room at all times to keep this crisis at bay and away from our children. This building, we believe, is especially vulnerable to this sort of activity just in its layout alone, with a very large entrance hall being somewhat darkly lit and not so much vacant, but not heavily trafficked. Most of the time, especially during the new later hours of operation of the library, we oftentimes see disheveled looking people sitting along the edges of the walls outside the library when we are leaving, since the library is now open till 8. We were very excited for that new hours of operation because it gives us more freedom as homeschoolers to be able to socialize and have activities in the library, but we are noticing this is becoming an increasing problem, and we need a deterrent. It's not just our children, for our children, it's for the staff, it's for yourselves, it's for your families and our janitors that have to clean those bathrooms. So it's for our whole community that I'm asking this, and thank you for your time.
Thank you. Well, you've talked about an issue, and you're saying that it's happened a good many times. I've been here a long time, and I haven't seen it. So, and I use the washroom periodically. But, we'll certainly take a look at it. I'm going to ask Inspector to please make a comment. If somebody, and I don't care where they are, and they're doing something illegal, then the first thing that should be done is call the police. That's the first thing. No contact with anybody in the library, call the police. Because I have no idea, I don't have a clue about, I don't know what drugs are where or how I don't know. So I have to tell you, to be honest, it's not my expertise, but I know that we have Carrie Lynn here and Jerry, and she's done a lot of work in this area in other places, and her comment to me is that we're blessed here. So.
I do feel blessed to be able to frequent this library, and I myself had not witnessed it before. I think that's why it was such a shock to my husband to walk in on that, because we are here all the time as well. And it was only when I started I wanted to make sure that my fellow homeschoolers knew what we had witnessed, to let them know this is something that is now going on, and it was not news to them, and they had all expressed this to me that
I know that's what you told me, and I'm back to the point that if you're in the situation to see somebody doing something illegal, then that's the first place I'm going to go is to the police.
Absolutely.
And that's where I expect you or anybody else.
We did. It was after the fact, unfortunately, because my husband was just astounded by it, and my husband works 2 jobs. He's, for the lack of better words, extremely exhausted all the time, and it was only when he got home that I was like, we should be calling the police.
Yeah.
We did make a police report. It was not followed up on. We were not called back. I'm going to assume that was because it was over an hour after the fact. But I also have to point out that although I felt very validated when I did contact Jerry Lynn, when I spoke to her. And I am aware, though, that when she responded to other homeschooling parents who had reached out concerned about this very same thing, it was dismissed in a way of that our library is very safe. We don't know what Mr. Hennessy saw. It could have been someone injecting insulin. That's what my fellow homeschooling mother was told. And she was told that we are to be looking after our children and minding them at all times, which felt like gaslighting.
And that's not new.
It's not new, and it's something that we pride ourselves on as homeschoolers, is being able to be with our children all the time, and we do mind them all the time. But if you're coming into your town hall to go to your public library, and you have to interact with homeless people, which I have witnessed them at 8 o'clock at night, leaving the library after we play cards with our friends. I've seen them. I've seen them outside of this very library right there with carts full of junk and coming in and out of the bathroom. I've not seen them use drugs. My husband did. We have family members that have type 1 diabetes, and I've never seen any of them tie off to inject themselves with insulin. So it was insulting. And this I find insulting, because to say that it's just not happening is not going to answer the problem. What's going to answer the problem is having security in that building so that my child doesn't die from fentanyl.
Your Worship.
Excuse me, Your Worship, point of order.
Yes.
I believe our delegation, our present input should be 3 minutes, and that's the maximum, and I believe we should be going on and doing something with this.
Thank you very much. Yes.
But Your Worship, and I agree with you, but the fact of the matter is, I would like to see a report come to this council about perhaps options that we can undertake. I know in Belleville, for the longest time when I was on council, we didn't have security at the front door. When COVID hit, they got security, and they knew the the effectiveness and the deterrence of having security, so they continued it. I spoke with the councillor there today to ask him for his opinion, and they continued with it. And it's not only for deterrence, but it's also for information that, for giving people information when they come to the door. So I want to see a report coming to this council about our options, perhaps what it'll take to perhaps get somebody at that front door for not only security but for information. As you know, I voted against the matter when we lost our downstairs staff, and I thought that was a deterrent. But now that we don't have staff downstairs, I'd like to see a report come to council.
Yeah, any other comments at this time? Anyone else? Sorry, go ahead, Councillor Neal.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Before that report comes, are there not washrooms on the second floor on the northwest corner that they could use?
If I could interject.
Not open to the
I
public.
have a 4-year-old son, and we live in Frankfurt. And by the time we drive 15 minutes here, he's holding it running. And so we have, before this happened, had to use those washrooms. We always preferred to use the private washrooms that are in the library. So there actually are washrooms one washroom in the library. And we prefer those because they're private. But that one being there, it has been useful to us, just having to rush in when he has to go to the bathroom. And so that is kind of why we're fighting for the use of them.
Mr. Mayor, you offered, as well as CAO Clazy, to meet this young lady to have her discussion with you, and I believe that we've gone way past the 3-minute time limit, and I recommend that you reach out to CAO Clazy and make an appointment and have your discussion with them. I'm not going to support revisiting having a staff member come and sit in the downstairs. We talked about this like 2-3 years ago, and we all voted to make the changes. To our citizens asked us to be efficient and think outside the box, and this was a suggestion that we acted upon. And you're right, Mr. Mayor, when something illegal is taking place, you grab a cell phone or get a phone and call the OPP, and they'll be here like in a minute if you call them and let them know that there's an activity happening. Anytime I've reached out to the OPP for anything, not for any visit here, like I've been on council since 2008, and I've never encountered any issues in the washroom here. And I'll grant it, I don't come here every day, but anytime I do, I've never had any issues like what you're describing. And I'm not saying that it didn't happen. I'm just saying that it's a matter for the OPP, and they do respond very quickly. So that's what I'm suggesting.
Thank you. Anyone else here? I'm going to suggest that reach out to CEO Clazy, and we'll set up a meeting with those people who would like to come and talk about the situation, and we'll go from there. But that's what I'm suggesting we do at this time. Thank you.
Your Worship, then at the very least, if you're not, if council is not willing to get a report, can we get some options on the table, what we can do? I mean, we can vote on it as a council. You can have the meeting, and you can say whatever you want. But the fact is, I'd like council to have this discussion in public, and at least be given some options.
Thank you. Councillor Card.
Thank you, Your Worship. I'm open certainly to a report about potential security measures that can be taken. It's obviously a very difficult issue. I'm sorry for your husband's family's experience. Not aware of an ongoing problem in the washroom either, and that being said, this would probably be how it would come to light with experiences and public input. So it's a very difficult issue. Certainly, we all share the community with unhoused members of the community as well. That being said, we certainly have an expectation for safety when we're in public places. I am somewhat skeptical if the downstairs customer service desk was open, that would in any way have stopped this from happening. I'm not sure if security, I think, could possibly be helpful. I think that it's such a complicated issue with drug use on the surfaces, latent drugs left behind. Who knows what control that they would have, but I'm certainly open to discussing other security measures if this is an ongoing problem that's happening.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm going to ask our chief librarian to make a few comments, please. Jerry.
I don't want Cheyenne to leave feeling like we haven't heard you, because we have. And I just want to let you know that when I said to you that this is common in libraries, I wasn't talking about this one.
Oh,
okay.
It was the librarian I told you that night.
Okay, there's no librarians here. That was, first of all, your husband didn't talk to a staff person. I don't know who it was, and it was Marilyn, who's a supervisor.
Okay. When I called, I asked her, who can I speak to that is of the highest authority available?
And she gave you me.
Mr. Mayor, I think this
at
really
this
is a
time.
conversation
So
for our meeting, I think, not.
I just want to say just really quickly, though.
Yeah, okay.
The history, and just so council knows, by the way, in the 2 years that I've been here, we have not filed a formal incident report with a drug incident. Now, I am really sad that you and your boys and your husband witnessed that. I know that that was something that was really scary and terrifying. But it is not the norm in this building. I have been dealing with these issues in public libraries for a very long time. And it's going to happen, but it's very, very rare here. So I don't know if that's going to give you any comfort, but we are very aware, and we do spend a lot of time making sure that everybody's safe. Now, having said that, again, you are responsible for your children when they're in the library, and these things are going to happen. Public.
I think that's a big gaslighting comment. I think
no, it's not meant to be that. It's the truth.
Mr. Mayor, I think this
So
really
we'll
needs to be
talk
cut
about
off.
it in the meeting, but
if it's not just me.
No, let's not argue about anything. We're
People in my community
thank you.
who have
Thank you
no
very
idea
much.
All right.
what is going on. So we will talk to you, and I can give you all kinds of information. What information?
Thank you.
I'm not sure what information.
Okay.
Why would you be against that? Why would you be against it? Why would
All right, all right.
Okay,
This is
I'm going to ask,
enough.
About calling the police as soon as something happens. Why not just have a deterrence in the building also?
Why is it up to
What if I walk my
parents to
toddler into the
make?
bathroom and they see all this?
I understand what you're saying, but everything we do is based on our budget. We don't just have money sitting in somebody's drawer. We have a budget that we follow, and then that's part of this process.
Pay a security guard to sit downstairs.
Yeah, that's going to be a very big expense, that, unless we need it. That's something a long ways down the road. Thank you very much. You've made your point. You've made your point. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Putting the onus on the parents to deal with any criminal activity that's going on in this building.
It's your responsibility as a parent to look after your child. That's what I'm saying to you.
I have to have my kids.
You have to do what a.
And say, sorry, kids.
Thank you. Okay. Thank you very much.
We will deal with this personally as a.
Excuse me, Mr. Mayor? Mr. Mayor, I'm wondering if we might be able to take a short break. Thank you.
Actually, no, we're going to do this now.
Thank you. You may begin, sir. Give us your name and
Yeah, my name is Bill Jeffs, and I'm here for support here as well. I was a guard at Kingston Penn and Joyceville Institution. I was still a boy in my early 20s when I found a new family in the people I worked with. We walked through the hallways of inmates and looked for drug use. If we found it, we took the inmate to disciplinary court inside the prison, and their sentence was lengthened, and programs for the inmates were put in place to help them reform and to present themselves back into society as productive, empowered neighbors. A friend at work, older than myself, took me under his wing and showed me the ropes to become a solid guard. We and others at work became a family. Shortly after this, my friend went into an inmate cell to wake him up for his 5:30 kitchen job. The inmate turned over, had a syringe from drug use in his hand, accidentally stabbed my friend in the arm. We found out that the inmate had Hep C, so my friend got Hep C. After the anger subsided that day, a sudden truth came to me. Criminals must be sentenced to live, or my family would be sentenced to death. He died. That took one time. One time in that bathroom and my boys in there, one time, and that's a death on your head. Now drugs are being brought into an institution again, but now it's in our backyard. My family and my son use the library for programs in the washroom. Criminals are using the same washroom with needles and drugs like fentanyl. They only need to be touched once for it to be lethal, like my friend at work. Once again, you need a guard to patrol the hallways and alert authorities to carry out a sentence to become productive neighbors. It's common sense. The community is our family now. That truth has come back to me again. Criminals must be sentenced to live, or my family will be sentenced to death. It takes one time for this to happen. I've been a public servant all my life. Like you, I grew up on a farm. I worked hard to protect my family, and I will protect them now. And if something isn't done today, then we'll just go to another one. We'll go to the media. They've done it in Belleville. They've had to get 2 guards there at the library. You'll do the same thing. That's why we're paying taxes here. We're not going to your education system, which is screwed up in the first place. So we're not paying taxes toward that. Use our taxes for something like this. Get a guard in there to do the job.
anyone else for public input? Anyone else? Okay, thank you very much. David, or CEO Clazy, I guess my question is, what have you done at this point and what's ahead of you?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, and I know I've reached out and had a couple emails back and forth with a couple of the members here tonight, and we're just in the process of getting a time where we can have a meeting to discuss this situation further.
Okay, and
And then depending on what comes out of that meeting, then we can take it from there.
okay, all right, so that's that. And any other questions from council members at this time? That's my question, I guess. So we won't be doing anything until you bring the report back. And then we're not sure what direction we're going to take even until we get that. Correct?
Yes, I think, Mr. Mayor, we'll have a meeting with the group here, and then we'll see where that goes and see where we take it from there.
Okay. Thank you very much. We'll go on to the next. Anybody else for public input? Anyone else? Pardon?
This next.
Yeah, okay. Okay, I need a motion to approve the agenda and the approval of the minutes for March.
Sorry, Mr. Mayor, can you go back to item 5, the declaration of pecuniary interest? I don't know if we have to declare.
Yeah, disclosures. Yeah, okay, I didn't do that one either, did I? Any disclosures of pecuniary interest, I guess that's.
Yes, Mr.
Go
Mayor,
ahead.
I do have a conflict of interest with item 2E during the in-camera portion, and I filed the information, the paperwork with the clerk.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know, I'd had a conflict as well, but mine was presented in there as well, but it has to be done publicly as well, then it was, yes, with regard to the heritage appointment, thank you.
Okay, thank you. All right, so that's all covered. I need approval of the agenda and the minutes.
Here.
Councilor Armstrong moved, Councilor McHugh seconds. Any questions or comments on the approval of the minutes and the agenda? All in favor? Thank you, okay. Anything else under public input? I guess we got through that. Minutes in the Planning Advisory Committee meeting held on February the 20th, 2020.
So move, Your Worship.
Moved and seconded by Councilor Elliott and seconded by Councilor McHugh. Comments or questions? All in favor? Carried, thank you. Okay, Community Service and Strategic Partnerships, resolution of staff report 2025-00038 by Matt Tracy, Manager of Water Wastewater Services, and Samantha Reed, Special Projects Coordinator regarding Canada Housing Infrastructure Fund application, Denton wastewater treatment plant expansion be received, and that council will direct staff to apply for the Canada Housing Infrastructure Fund grant through the Government of Canada for the Trenton wastewater treatment plant expansion project.
I'll move it.
Okay, thank you very much. Seconded by, need a seconder. Councilor Reed, okay. Any comments or questions? All in favor? Oh, go ahead, Councilor Steno.
Just a quick comment, because this is excellent, that we're going to be putting the money in for the application. I don't know if Mr. Tracy wants to speak to when the last time was that we actually received any funding when we applied?
Can't remember.
Through your worship, yeah, the funding in terms of treatment facilities, I believe the last funding was approximately 3.6 million for the Trenton wastewater treatment plant back in 2015.
How much was it?
3.6 million.
Okay, and how much do we need?
Multiple of that.
Just a little bit more,
Many,
right?
many multiples.
Okay, all right, thank you. Okay, all in favor? Carried, thank you. Okay, next one is Public Works, resolution staff report by Chris Angel, Director of Public Works and Environmental Services regarding Public Works Environmental, 21, first quarter update on significant projects they received. Anything, any questions you need to ask? Yes, go ahead, Councilor Quinte.
Thanks, Mr. Mayor. I just wanted to ask Director Angelo for, I guess, a little bit more information on the right turn lane at Chatterton Valley. Like, where are you putting it?
Yeah, through your worship, it's going on to Highway 14, former Highway 14. So we'll need a turn lane going eastbound on Highway 14 at that time when we do that intersection all the way down through.
Oh, I see. So it's not on Chatterton Valley, it's on Loyalist Wallbridge Road?
Yeah, it's close to Chatterton Valley, yes, is what the intention is, yes.
Oh, okay. I understand now. Thank you.
Okay. Councilor Steno.
Thank you, Worship. I just wanted to say this is an excellent report. I'm very glad to see it, and I'm sorry that I've never seen one before because I guess it was with the prior council they used to come on a regular basis. So I hope that this will come forward on a quarterly basis going forward because it is very, very useful and it helps me understand what's going on, especially when it comes to budget time, but also to explain to the citizens when they ask me why certain things are or are not being done. So thank you.
That's exactly why we run out of money. That's the only, we never run out of projects, we run out of money. That's our problem. All in favor? Carried, thank you. Are we good? Okay, I guess proclamations, council proclaimed the month of April as be a donor month in the city of Quinte West. And further, that April 7th, 25 be proclaimed as Green Shirt Day in the city of Quinte West. Guess we're not quite there yet, are we? Okay, and further, that council will host a flag raising ceremony to honor Green Shirt Day on April the 7th, the time to be determined. That's good. We'll fly the flag. And further, the council, Quinte West sign and Veterans Skyway Bridge be illuminated in the color green on April 7th, pending no scheduling conflicts. Okay?
Mr. Mayor, Councilor Freeman has her hand up.
Go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead, Councilor Freeman.
I'm just moving it, Mr. Mayor.
Okay, moved by Councilor, seconded by Councilor Katsovas. Okay, any comments or questions? All in favor? Thank you very much. Council proclaim April 24th as Human Values Day in the city of Quinte West, and further, the Quinte West sign and Veterans Skyway Bridge be illuminated in the color red on April 24, 25, pending no scheduling conflicts. Moved by Councilor McHugh, seconded by Councilor Boyce. Any comments or questions? All in favor? Thank you very much. Then we got printed information. Move by the seconder for printed information. Moved by Councilor Elliott, seconded by Councilor McHugh. Any comments or question on printed? Go ahead, Councilor Steno.
Just to notice that there are a couple of other municipalities, I know there's lots around the province, but they are following our lead on the resolutions to buy Canadian and taking a look at our purchasing policy. And I do know that that's the difficult thing to do because of other stipulations that we have, other guidelines and regulations. But yes, buy local. I think it's
Right now with the tariff, it's pretty embarrassing, to be honest. It's really very embarrassing. From my point of view as a part-time farmer, we have all our oats we have all our beans, soybeans and corn from last year. And what are we trying to do? We're trying to open a port. Where are we trying to open a port, Councilor Elliott? Picton Port, so that we can load ships and head to Mexico. So we can, I guess you'd say, bypass the U.S. That's an objective, but you can't do anything unless you got freight coming both ways. That's the hard part. Councilor Boyce.
Thank you, Your Worship. I think I just read in one of our local newspapers about Sprague
Yes.
that employs 50 people, and initially they're absorbing the cost of the tariffs because they do a lot of the imports into the States, but it's not sustainable. So they're encouraging, and I know council is for the buy local. They're encouraging to the grocery stores to identify the places that are Canadian, such as Sprague and things.
Yeah, thank you. I agree with you wholeheartedly. Sprague Foods has been around a long time, and Nesbitt Canning Factory in Brighton, and Graham Foods in Brighton, and all kinds of, yeah. Who? Stokely Van Camp,
Yeah.
yes. Thousands of cans of vegetables and so on. So, Councilor Card.
Thank you, Your Worship. I was just going to add that we learned at the Agricultural Committee meeting on Tuesday through Brian Cruz and other comments that there's already local farmers, livestock producers that are being affected by the tariffs, and it's not a good situation. They choose between absorbing the cost or trying to tack it on and then not being competitive with American, the example he used with the hog producers. So you either shave a bunch of money off your margins, maybe your business isn't profitable anymore, or you tack on the price and they're not buying from you because you're not the cheapest anymore. It's a rock and a hard place. It's terrible, the effects it will have on our community.
And I think I did see a flyer today, but I can't tell you what store. Back ribs were on sale. And if the tariff continues with pork on the U.S. side, it's going to hit the pork in Canada, because where's a lot of our pork processed?
I was gonna say city.
Right at the store. No, I'm just no. A lot of the pork is Quebec, but and we're fine as long as that continues, but the supply is going to diminish. That's the problem. So anyways, it's sad that we've had a good trade agreement for years, and that's all we ask is that we continue with a good, honest, fair trade, free trade, I guess is what we're asking. So anyways, thank you very much. We'll do our best. Any notices of motion? I guess that's where I'm at. None, okay. Bylaws, we read it first, second, and third time. I need to move in a second for that.
Sorry, Mr. Mayor, I need you to call the vote on the printed and non-printed, if there are no
Okay.
more questions.
Okay, all in favor of the, thank you, carried. Okay, so we're dealing with bylaws at this time. That's where I'm at. Need a mover or a seconder for the bylaws to be moved. Councillor Quinte moves, seconded by Councillor Freeman or Councillor Reed. Which one, I guess? Doesn't matter, okay. Any comments or questions on bylaws? That's what I'm coming from. All in favor then? Be read, sir. Okay. Confirmation bylaw.
I think we missed, sorry, Mr. Mayor, new business? New business?
I did that. I asked for new business.
No?
Okay. Okay, sorry. Anything under new business? Councillor Armstrong.
I'm sorry for not dressing up tonight. I wore this jersey today with Councillor Card. We're at the VON dinner, our luncheon, monthly luncheon, for the people that sort of don't get out a lot, so we decided to carry on with the St. Patrick's theme. And also, I'm uncovering my support for Canada with our hockey team, Montreal Canadiens, but our hockey team and our flag, Mr. Trump, we're not for sale, and I just wanted to...
Keep your elbows up.
Keep your elbows up. I couldn't find any elbow pads, but I think...
I got a few.
Yeah, I know you do, and you've taken a couple, and you've given me a couple.
Anyways, that's good. Now, I agree with you. We're not for sale, and we're proud Canadians, and buy what you can locally. I don't disagree. Buy all you can, and don't use my credit card.
Councillor Reed.
Councillor Reed.
Thank you. This isn't about new business, but since we missed the announcement portion, I did want to mention something that's quite interesting. This Sunday, March 30th, the Renovation Resort Show will be televised on HGTV. This show was filmed in Frankfurt on property on North Trent Street, near Bata Island, with hosts Scott McGilvery and Brian Balmer. It should be really interesting to see the Frankfurt and Quinte West area showcased for this show. They have built 5 homes, and they've had a competition, as anyone that follows the HGTV, and the decorating of each room. And so it will be quite a series starting this Sunday night.
Thank you very much. And what else do you want to mention that happened last night?
Oh, the Huskies are moving on to play the Napanee Raiders in the playoffs.
Yes, go Huskies, go. Go Huskies,
Yes.
go. It was a good crowd and a good game, and they won. That's but they played hard. They played well, and it was good. Okay, Councillor Boyce.
And just speaking of keeping your elbows up, and going local, the Hawks too. You forget the Hawks that now advanced to the second round. I think first game's Friday night against Stouffville, and I mean we're going to win that round too, and we're going to go right to the finals in Calgary. National finals.
Thank you. It's a good idea. I'm going to save my money for a plane ticket. Councillor O'Neill, did you want to donate? I didn't ask for any, but I mean.
I'd love to get more donations for the pickleball tournament. Actually, Thursday, April the 3rd, the Quinte West Chamber is going to honor Josephine Robertson, the owner of the
Yes.
Tim Hortons in town,
Yes.
as a lifetime honorary member. If anyone would like to get tickets, they could contact the Chamber of Commerce.
Yes, I have a ticket. Councillor Michael Katsovas.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Yesterday, the Center for Workforce Development launched their local labor market plan. And one key takeaway from all of this was the need for healthcare, frontline workers, and emergency services. So it was fitting that we honored them this evening. And those are the 3 areas, if someone's looking, younger people looking to follow their path to a field, that I would work in that field, or if someone's pivoting, a more mature person that wants to switch professions, those three areas need it the most. And they kindly ask that they complete their survey. It's very important for their data. So again, that's the Center for Workforce Development, and you can find their survey on their website.
Thank you. Okay, thank you. Thank you. Who's next? Councillor Stedall.
Just a couple of things that have happened in the past, so not new, but we had the Quinte West Family Day and last weekend, and it was very successful. Lots of families out. It was great. It was wonderful to see all the effort that staff put into it. And also the DBIA had their regular AGM last evening, and I'm pleased to say it wasn't a long meeting. It was a lot shorter than this one.
Good.
It was 35 minutes, but it was the information that was brought forward is very positive. We've got a lot of new businesses that are going down the downtown area, and I believe they said it was 152 businesses in that area. It is very busy. There's lots of events that are going to be coming up this year, and it was successful. So
Good.
AGM.
Great, great. That's the way it should be, right? Okay, Councillor Armstrong?
You're going to do it? No, go ahead. You got it.
I think our clerk has some news to share with us.
Yes, yes.
He doesn't?
Yes, he does.
Yes, he does. What's the news?
My wife and I had our first child on March 1st.
All right.
Like I said, this time I'd just like to thank council and all staff for everything that they provided to my wife and I and our daughter. It's much appreciated. We got a lot of support from staff and a nice celebration yesterday, and so I just really appreciate that and all the support. So thank you very much.
And we'll, if your wife needs information, you can handle any shift. Correct? Except for...
That's what I've been told I need to do.
Okay, good, okay. Anything else? Anything else? Two for adjournment, two for confirmation, and two for adjournment. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.